So we talked about rent collection. That helps us, owners and managers. That helps us. How do we help the tenant? Easy payment portal. Tenants love it. Why? Because they can log in just like they do their bank account, their power bill, everything else, and they can see where they stand. So give that to them at their fingertips. If they know where they stand and they know the rent's coming up, and they know they're late, they know they owe a bill, it's going to make it easier for them to pay you. If you're just sending mail out or not telling them at all where they stand, well, it's going to be difficult for them to pay you, okay? Online maintenance. This is huge. Making maintenance requests easier than paying rent, because a maintenance request that goes unanswered or unrequested can cost you a lot more than that 1 month's rent. Y'all hear me? You want them to be able to just, as quick as they can send a tweet, they should have that request in. Because if it's just a leaky toilet that goes through a weekend, you might have to do a whole new bathroom. We had our guys over in Olympia, I probably told this story before, where they had a party over. They didn't tell me it was a party. They said it was just the three of us. And they were watching the Carolina-Missouri game when Connor Shaw came back from 4 touchdowns down in the double overtime. And we won. It was amazing. And I know that they all jumped at the same time and landed at the same time, because they called me and said, there's a little dip in the floor. And they called, this was Thanksgiving week, right? So it was Saturday. They called on Sunday. I was like, hey, I'm out of town for Thanksgiving. I'll get to it. They called back 2 days later and said, you know what? You might want to come on over. This dip looks like it's getting worse. And so here I am. This is a maintenance request gone a couple of days. I get over there, and this is a literal bowl, and they've broken 6 or 7 joists, and the whole floor is laying on the ground. The only thing holding it together is because it was built same time as this building, and this wood is nailed together, and it's hard as a rock. And so the hardwood floor was holding that whole floor together. And that's a maintenance request that I wasn't really good back then. I let it go way too long. But if you let those things go, that could have been dangerous. And I'm thinking about the legal ramifications. Had somebody fallen through or stepped through, whatever. So making maintenance requests easier than paying the rent. Hospitality wins. I think we talked about guest service, tenant services. Treating them like your guest in your property will help them feel like they have a piece of that property. They're a little bit of an owner. They are going to treat it nicer, take care of it, because you are treating them better. So providing services, helping them get connected to the utilities, whatever that is, right? Being kind, just being flat out kind. And if they need something, if they call you, just answer the phone. And if you can't help, you can't help, but be nice about it. Okay. So then we go into the fees, support services, and add-ons. We just had that a second ago, right? That was for us. Well, for the tenant services, there's things that they actually want. There might be things that they want to pay you for. We talked about the student rentals and student housing. They don't want to pay for the cable bill separate. They want just one bill to pay. And if you can provide that, they'll pay you a premium. All these student housing apartment complexes on Bluff Road and Shop Road, they all were built saying, hey, just pay us one big check every month, and we'll pay your power bill, we'll pay your cable bill. Okay? And you think it was just a wash, or did they make a little extra? They made a little extra. It's great. There are things that your tenants right now, if you have tenants, they want. So how do you find out what those are? Any ideas? Ask them. Oh, that's a novel idea. If you are communicating and you have good hospitality and they like you and you like them and everything's business, we're all friendly, you can ask them, hey, is there anything you need? Anything to make your life easier? Hey guys, real quick, it's Andrew, and thanks for listening. I just want to give you a couple of tips. Go over to dealfindersclub.com/resources to get more information on the things that we're talking about today, some downloads and some links to some of our partners that can help you do your business better. And if you want to get connected and join us at some of our live events, check out the events page right there on dealfightersclub.com. And if you're ready to build, reach out through a message or chat with us through the website. You can find us there. And hey, as always, like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to you soon. If you made that tenant's life easier, do you think they would stay longer? Yeah. You think they might pay you a little bit more? Yeah. Treat it like a business. All right. Be flexible but consistent. You got to have rules. You got to have consistency, okay? That's number one. You can't break the rules. Again, fair housing, everything. Be fair, be consistent. You can be flexible on what those rules are, but when you set them, stick with them.